Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be making some pockets for my Boho Journal. We just had a 2-day very high heat wave. Temperatures were reached 39 here, which I guess is about 102 if you're in the States, or somewhere else if you're working in Fahrenheit, and 39 in Celsius, so it was pretty hot. So I was just sitting on the sofa and I decided to have a little play with some book pages. So I made myself a whole bunch of pockets, most of them based on Shabby Dabby Doodah's mass makes. A lot of them were. A couple of one from Pam at the Paper Outpost, a couple where I was just mucking about and came up with them myself, but I'm sure they're based on what I've seen other people make. So I've got myself 3 sheets of the paper from the Bohemian Dream kit, the Pink Monarch Prints kit that I've been using, and I've printed them on 160 GSM, so just sort of double thickness of normal copy paper, and I've backed them as well. I've double-sided them so that whatever we make, you don't need to line it or put any other papers in it, so it just makes it a bit quicker and easier. And I've picked out 3 that I actually want to make. So that's 1, 2, I think it's these 3 that I thought I'd make today. So I made my first prototype for each one with some book page. This is one I was just messing about with. I'm sure I've seen this kind of thing done before, so it's nothing new. But it wasn't specifically following anybody's tutorial or anything. And that can be like that, or you can adapt it, which I've done in the end, and made it into a pocket rather than a flip out or anything like that. So I've made this one, which doesn't open. I mean, you can do it either way. This one would open up and it has a pocket on the front and a pocket either on the back or inside, depending on how you want to use it. You could glue it in to your book and then do it like that, but I thought if I've got a pocket here and a pocket inside, they might catch on each other, so I wasn't sure how well that would work. So I decided to keep it simple and just have a corner pocket here and a little pocket at the front. So that's going to be one of them. I don't know which papers I'm going to use for which. This one I've done loads of times. I love this pocket because it's a multi-pocket. You can get so much in it in all these different places, and this was one from ages and ages ago from Pam at the Paper Outpost. The one I've made has ended up being a bit bigger really than I like, because I was using some A4 paper and I cut it down a bit but not really enough. I like this size better because it just is a bit neater and it doesn't take up so much room on the page. So I'm going to try and cut my paper down so that it works with this. None of the ones on the book page I've actually glued, so I can open them out and see where I've folded them. So that's one, and this is the other one. This is very much a Tina one. I do like this one. This is one with 2 corner pockets. She also does one with a 3rd corner pocket, like slanty pocket, but I think that's too many. So I just like it with the 2. And yeah, so that was one of her mass makes as well. I think I wrote them down somewhere. Yeah, so I've done it the other way round just because I like the paper this way round, but you can do it, obviously it will work either way. So I definitely like to make that one. So I've got a pocket here and a pocket here, and you can make it as a tuck as well. And you could almost put a pocket across here if you wanted to, which I may still do, or even a corner pocket or something, or make another corner pocket here, I guess. There's umpteen ways you can pimp it up and make it different. So that's what I'm going to make today, and hopefully we'll get to decorate at least one, if not more. So I'm just going to put those back in my little basket out the way. Let's see which one shall I make with which paper, that's the question. So I think maybe I'll make this one. I think it's better if it's not overly busy. for this one because you've got so many pockets and tucks and things. I think I might use this one, and that's what's on the other side, so that'll show as well. So I might use that one for that one. And then I've got these two. I've just got to remember how. So that will fold like that. And I think maybe this one for this one. And I'll make this one first, I think. Now, where's my little prototype? It's here. So I just used one of my larger book pages. This is a book page from my encyclopedia. And it doesn't have to be this size. I will cut my paper down a bit because I don't want it too huge, but perhaps not quite as much as this. So it's going to trim it a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit from there. Let's see how it looks. So just fold it in half the long way. And then fold it again the other way. So just a little bit, so you can decide which way you want it. Do I want it that way or do I want it that way? I think I prefer it that way. Or I could do it the other way around. This is the problem, this is why I ended up with this one going the other way, because I kept folding it, deciding which way around I wanted it. And I think I want it there. Where's my bone folder? Okay. And just make sure I've lined it up as best I can. And just burnish it as well as you can. Make sure it doesn't lie, so it lies nice and flat. And then you open it out again. And where are we going? Trying to remember which was the front. That's the front. Is that the front or is that the front? That's the front. Right, so I need to fold this corner in like that. Try to keep it at a bit of a right angle here, because then you get a nice shape, nice angle. And then the other one I want to fold in is this one, or do I? Hang on. Got to remember which way around. Yes, this one needs to be folded in. And that goes in, but smaller. But also try to keep it at a right angle. So you do it like a little fold there. And there you go, you have a pocket. And I think that's really pretty. It's not quite as big as the other one, but that's fine. I'm quite happy with that, because you can make them whatever size you like. Mostly the papers I used for doing my prototypes was all by Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. I went a bit mad the other day and bought a load of her kits because they're so pretty. And I printed a few pages from each kit onto the thicker paper so I could try these pockets out. So this one is her pink Parisian, I think. Which is really gorgeous, even though I'm not a big pink fan, as you probably know. I may have mentioned it, but there's some pinks, there's some versions, these kind of vintagey pinks with the warm colours. I do like those. Right, so all we have to do now is glue it down. Now I think the one she does, and on my, if you see my original one, because the paper's quite thin, I would normally glue this all together. Well, that's what she would do, is to glue it all together. But because my paper's that bit thicker, I think it makes it too bulky. So I am going to cut off this back piece because I think it's too much and it's not needed, which I did on the prototype here. and it worked out absolutely fine. So I'm going to cut that piece off, and then it can be used for something else. And that in there. Okay, and I've got a spare piece for whatever I want to use. I can make another pocket out of that. And then I need to just glue these down. In fact, I think I might just trim this big one a bit. So again, it's trying to keep the bulk down, isn't it? I'm just going to trim that off. And just glue it down. With my tacky glue. Just get a little piece of kitchen towel to rub it. Okay, and then the other one, glue the other way. So this was Tina's mass make. I think I wrote it somewhere. I thought I'd written it all on these. Of course, it's the only one I didn't write it down, as usual. But I did write on all of them which one it was, so I could tell you. And then, of course, the one I picked, I hadn't done it. Now, I haven't done that quite the right angle, so I need to just straighten it up a little bit. Ooh, that's not quite at right angles, which means you get a sort of funky angle. There we are. Should be better. Right. Phew, even though the heat wave has died down, in that it's a lot cooler today, it's still pretty warm. I must say, I've got my fan on, I hope it's not making too much noise, and I've had to open my window as well, so you might hear the odd noise from outside, which I'm sorry about, but I have to have a bit of air in here. It can get very, very warm. So, right, I think the best thing to do first, yeah, I think I should glue this down. I think I need to glue, I've got to figure out where does it need gluing. It needs gluing down the sides, down those two sides, doesn't it? Okay. Choosing my glue. I'm going to go for the art glitter glue just because you can get with the little nozzle I can get a finer bead. Just make sure I'm gluing it in the right place, because I'm a devil for gluing it wrong. Yes. So along here. And along here. Yeah, I think everything that was on the news, you know, forget about politics and whatever else is going on. All that you could see on the news was how the whole country was suffering in the heat. We don't get that kind of heat in the UK. I know for a lot of places it would seem a bit over the top to be making it headline news, but we don't get that kind of heat here. I mean, it broke records. It's never been. I mean, in some parts of the country it was 40 degrees, which is 105, I think. And we've just never had those sort of temperatures before. The highest we'd ever had before that had been 30-something, 38. And even that, I mean, this is only a little bit more than that, but even that doesn't happen very often. I'm going to use that one. So yeah, it was all a bit... everybody were saying, how are you coping in the heat? Because it really was very, very hot. I mean, we actually weren't too bad. We just shut all our windows and curtains, had fans going, and we slept downstairs for 2 nights. Well, luckily we have a sofa bed, which we never use, haven't used it for years, but it just happens to be sitting in our dining room. And we were going to get rid of it. Certainly before we moved, we were going to get rid of it. I think it might be coming with us now. I mean, I think I'd like to replace it with something perhaps a little bit smarter. But it turned out it wasn't too uncomfortable. It was an IKEA one, and it was fine. It was certainly worked for us for the 2 nights. It was much cooler downstairs. It was like a furnace in our bedroom. But downstairs, it's fine. So, right, now then I'm going to glue this little pocket. I'll put the glue on here and along the bottom. Yes, so we see we're a bit wimpy in this country, but we're not used to it, and we're all, a lot of us, you know, quite fair of skin, and don't cope well in the heat. Of course, some people were loving it, but I think the majority were not. I don't think I've ever drunk so much water in my life. Just inking these pockets. I do like to define the pockets. So that's it. That's my little pocket. So we'll need to find something to go in here, something for in here, and then we can tuck something behind it. So there'll be a session of tag making, and well, I think journal cards as well would go in here. So that one's fine. So number 1, it is done. And number 2, let's put this out of the way. Number 2 is that one that I kind of would say, I can't really say I made it up, because I'm sure I've seen versions of this. Everybody does versions of this little pocket. I might make it a little bit taller, this one, as I made this one shorter than the other one I've made. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger than the other one. And I've just got to fold the paper in half. Or I thought I trimmed off all the white bits, but I seem to have missed a bit, because my printer does not print double side, borderless. So I have to sit there chopping all the bits off, like most of us do. But I like to do it if I can off camera, because it just takes time. I'm not Mrs. Speedy, as you know, making these things, so I thought I should probably, now is that, sorry, can I just trim that off a bit more? Yeah, I thought I probably should do all that kind of boring stuff off camera. Let's take a bit off. Just guesswork, because I don't want it to be too big. No, is that still, oh, it's still pretty big, isn't it? I should have trimmed off a bit more, I think. Right, okay, I will do that. I will trim off a bit more, because it's just too big. I don't mind it being a little taller, but I certainly don't want it wider than my page. So what have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as long as it's less than 5. I think that's a bit better. Yep, that will be better. So I'll fold that in half, and I'll allow a bit for the pocket. So how tall do I want it? Oh. I think I'll chop off a chunk. Okay, and then I'll just fold it up here for my pocket. So I don't know how big that is. It's about 1 inch, maybe a little more. Let's see. About 1.5 inches actually. Yeah, 1.5 inches. And then just burnish this a little more there. And then where it joins here, I'm going to just do a little V so that the pockets don't sit, you know, right up against the fold. Just a slight bit. And then that one, I'm going to fold up. And this one, got various options, but I think because I want to make it into a pocket, the pocket is what I'm really keen to make, so I'm not going to keep this bit because it's going to be glued to the page. But if you want to use it as a little booklet or something, then you can do whatever you like with the pocket. Okay, that bit's cut off. The other thing I need to do, so I'm just checking the width of that. Yep, that's fine. Is fold in my corner. And again, have I done that right? Yeah. And again, I'm going to just trim off the excess and glue that down. I thought I just needed a variety of pockets, not just ones that are just across the bottom of the page, because I've got several of those. Sometimes it's nice to have little multi-pockets. Now, is that... I don't think it's too big. I think that'll be okay. It ended up not being much taller, just a bit wider than the original one, isn't it? Okay, well that's fine. I mean, they can be any size really, as long as it fits on the page. I think I might... no, I'll leave it as it is. I was thinking about trimming it down a bit. Maybe just a touch. Just take a touch off. Just seemed a little bit tall, the pocket. So not much. And then I'm going to do a little thumb notch. Trim it off, it's just poking out a bit here, so I'm just going to trim that a little bit. Do my thumb notch. And then ink around it before I glue it. Okay, and I'm just going to ink this pocket before I glue it shut. And yeah, and then I'll glue that up. Yep, okay. I really like Bettina's mass makes. I don't know if you watch them, but she does one every week, and all her mass makes are fairly straightforward and simple to make, which is good for me. I like that. I like that things are easy. And the whole idea is you can make loads of them. But instead of making lots the same, I've made lots of different ones. So I just sat watching her videos when I was sitting, trying to keep cool, and sitting with bits of book page and making pockets, mostly pockets, and she makes loads of other things, but I really wanted a little selection of pockets that I could choose from and make some for my journal. Okay. For some reason that's not... I always find this, I've always got a little bit that doesn't quite line up. But I'm just going to trim it off. It's not a problem. Not quite sure why that happens. Whether it's the folding or the cutting, but never mind. It doesn't really make any difference. Once you just trim it off and you're good to go. Right, the only other thing I want to do is around my corner. And then just ink around it. I haven't quite decided yet if I'm going to sew around all the things I'm making. I may just have a session one afternoon or one morning and just sew everything if they look like they need it. I do like the sewn look, it's just I've not had much time to do it. Okay, so yeah, so there's another pocket done. So that's the 3 I was wanting to make today. So now we need to get to decorating. So let's put, that goes with that one. And so I've got that one have I done them all? Oh no, I've got one more to do. Oh, I forgot the other one. It's actually my favourite. I've done it several times before, and that's this one. Okay, so I like the size of the book page one because it's just about the right size. So I'm going to roughly, I'm just going to undo it and roughly cut my paper to the same, approximately the same size as my book page. Let's get these two out of the way. Let's get that phone charger pulled out because it's getting in my way and it doesn't need it now. Okay, so let's put that over there. Let's clear these bits out of the way first. All the trimmings. Right. And out there, doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it just makes them a nice little pocket. Otherwise they get a little bit, they can look a bit big and a bit bulky. So I can't even see my mark now. Oh yes, okay, there it is. Oh, that's no good. This isn't big enough for that particular bit. Got my big trimmer here. I always have to think about how I make this, but it's really simple. It's only two folds, I think. So I'm going to turn it the other way around, and I can't remember how I do it now. I always forget that where the first fold goes. That's no. Start with it that way, portrait, and then I think this is right. Fold it up like that, so you've got the 2 points. That still doesn't feel right. No, that's not right either. How did I do this? Did I have this trouble every single time I make this? I can't remember how I started. So, start like that. Oh yes, okay, like that. Which way do I want it though? trying to remember which way do I want it. No, I think I was right the first time, I think. Okay, let's do this. Like that. Fold it. And then you turn it so that you've got what looks like a couple of pyramids really. And you fold that side in. And you fold that side in. And you tuck it in there. Like that. And there it is. It's a little pocket. I mean, it is, once you get the first fold, it's very simple and it's very effective. But that first fold always foxes me. So you have a piece of paper like that. So the long side in front of you, and turn that one up. So you've got these 2 points here, 2 V points. And then you turn it, turn that in, and tuck it in. And there you are. Lovely. I really like it, but I always have trouble with it. And these are not even, it doesn't really matter. And then you've got this, that's a tuck spot. You've got a tuck spot here, another one here, and behind if you want as well. So really there's not much gluing to do. I'm going to glue just along the bottom here. So that it holds it together. I got the glue on there, yes I have. Alright, get the old bone folder. And it's nice when you've got double-sided paper because then you haven't got to worry about the white bits and you've got to decorate them or ink them to cover up the white. So that's why I like to use double-sided for these kind of things. But I'm going to just ink around the pockets as best I can. Probably should have done it before I glued it. I could have undone it and inked, but I wouldn't have known where to ink probably. Oops. And then just ink here. It doesn't need a lot of decoration, this pocket, because you cover nearly all of it up with your whatever you put in there, all your little journaling bits. Sometimes nice just to have a little something here, a bit of lace along the edge of the pockets maybe, or a bit of trim. So I don't know whether I'll need to worry about that so much right now, but what I will try and do is to put a bit of decoration on these two. Again, they're quite small, so they don't need a lot, and you cover some of it up anyway. This one is the one that I think I would more likely to put some on the front and maybe some across the bottom of the pocket. So what shall we use? Shall we use our snippet roll to do this bit of decoration? Yeah, why not? That's what it's for, isn't it? Reluctant though I am. Is that too big? I think that's too big really, much as I'd love to put that across there. Could put it there, that would look nice, or on the other end, or I could use one of my little clusters as well. Could try those out, see which looks better. Let's try a cluster here. There's a bigger space. I'd rather put something bigger on this space, like that for instance. Or what about this one? It's quite nice. I might just tear that corner off a bit. I might put that there just to give the contrast of colours, because otherwise it's very turquoise, isn't it? Let's see what else I've got. Although, I must say, I think the turquoise might look better on here. That's too big. Keep coming back to her, don't I? Do love that. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay. Could put on here, I could put this small one. That would look alright on there. Maybe I'll put a little something behind it, maybe. Perhaps a little bit of book page behind there. Just got a little bit of what do you call it? Dictionary. And a dictionary paper. How would that look behind there? I'll just... What do I do with my scissors? Oh, there. Hiding in plain sight, as always. Just trim that off there. Right, that one there, that one there. Yeah, I think that will work. Oh, I didn't get myself a glue book out, did I? Oh well. I'll oh, get my pen. My glue stick and I don't know. Oh, there it is. I can see it. I don't know how I could miss it, it's huge. This will last me a while. Right, on there. And then put my little snippet on. That's the nice thing about making all these little bits, these decorative pieces. You can just decorate a pocket up in no time. Might have to make some more. I might just pop that piece off. It's just a little bit poking out, and it'll catch every time I put something in the pocket, I expect. So there we go. Is that one done? And yeah, I'm going to put this on here just because I love it and I think it goes well. Right on that pocket. Okay, so that's that one. And so I've got this. I would really like to use a piece of the snippet roll, but I might have to trim it a bit. Is it too much? Maybe that piece. I think I'll just... see if I can trim it. This piece of fabric is very thick, but then I've got a piece that I can use on another pocket or something like that. So that will work on another pocket, but this bit too big for this one, I think. But I think this one actually works a bit better. Oh, and I've got another piece of that fabric to cut down. I just quite like that one on there. For some reason it doesn't seem to be quite as much as the other one did. I mean, the fact, you know, the thumbnail is covered up, but that doesn't really matter. So, is this on fabric or paper? I can't remember. It's on some fabric, so I'm going to use the fabric tack to glue that on. I haven't used this for a few days. The top is stuck on. Okay, just put just enough, hopefully, to catch it down now. Right, so that's all glued on. I think it looks really pretty there. What I always do quite like to do, you won't be surprised to hear this, is put something along the edge of my pockets, usually some sort of lace or trim. So I've been having a look around. I've got a variety of things I could use, but I think I've got this odd piece of lace here, which is like a kind of pale corally colour, peachy coral, which I think would go quite well on here, I think. Let's just get it around the right way. I think I might just put that along that pocket there. I do like to decorate just the edge of the pockets. Not necessarily all of them, but I think it's just quite nice. Just kind of gives it a slightly finished look. Which way do I want it to go? I think I'll have the little slightly jaggedy bits poking up. Okay, I'll just put that on there. Just tuck it under there a little bit. And I'll just trim it off there. And then that's that pocket all done. And looking quite pretty, I think. Ready to have a tag or journal card in here and another one in here, as long as I haven't glued the pocket shut. That's it. Yep, just making sure. Okay, so that one's done. Now on this one, I'm not going to put anything along here because it would just, you know, would just crash against the little snippet. But I might just put a little something along the other one. So I think I've got this rather pretty, quite delicate cream lace here, lacy trim. I'm going to pop there, I think. Like that. and across the top. Oops, just in there. It's drifting away from the pocket there a little bit. There we are. Okay, so that's got a little lacy edge. There's that one. And then this one, I'm not going to, sometimes I have put a trim on all the pockets, but I'm not going to do that. But what I think I'm going to do is actually put a little piece of gold trim just on the big one. Just along there, I think. Just because it, you know, I'm using quite a lot of gold in this journal for my decorating. So I thought a little bit of gold trim would be quite nice on this pocket. Just trim off that a little bit. Okay. Which way around does it need to go? I think it has to go the other way. So let's just trim off a piece. I can tuck it into the pocket a little bit. There we are. Okay. And that just finishes it off. Okay, so that's that one done. So there we go. Actually, I'm quite surprised I managed to get them all decorated, but that's the benefit of doing those snippets and clusters in advance, is you can very quickly decorate a pocket, and it's done. So there's my 3 pockets for today, made from just a single piece of 12, not 12 by 12, A4 paper, just printed on some slightly thicker paper, they're all printed on GSM 160, and that just means they've got a little bit more, they're a bit more robust than if they were if they were done on normal copy paper. So I hope you like these. They've been really fun to make, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.